Welcome back students to physics online class. My name is Parth Davda and this class is for Form 9. Now as few of you have requested some basic concept revision and the numericals, so I am here to explain you the four major concepts of physics about motion and some numericals. So let's get begin with it. The very first thing is what are we going to study? We will be looking at distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration, formula for converting kilometer per hour into meter per second, since this was one of the major issues, numericals which I'll be showing you, and then I'll be giving you 10 numericals for your practice. So let's begin with the very first thing, the distance. Now as you can see, you can move from point A to point B by multiple ways. You can directly go from A to B, you can go from A to C, C to D, and then D to B. When you are traveling from A to C, C to D, and D to B, well, that is known as the distance. And this is what when we are traveling from one city to another city, we are using it. We cannot directly travel from one point straight line to the another point because of the obvious reasons. So when you're going from A to C, C to D, and D to B, you are actually taking a longer route compared to the direct route from point A to point B. As you can see over here, A to B is the direct shortest path that we can have. So this shortest distance between A to B is referred as displacement, and this particular place, A to C, and this whole path is referred as distance. Distance will be a scalar quantity, whereas displacement will be a vector quantity. We'll be looking at this particular thing in a while. So in this figure, there can be various paths as we have discussed, but the shortest path, which is this one, denotes the actual change in position from initial point A to the final point B, which is known as the displacement. So here is the difference between distance and displacement. It is very important to understand this because this concept will be coming in the next chapter as well. The actual path covered during the motion of a body is called distance. If you are traveling from anywhere to any other place, well, that is the distance. Even if you are taking just 1 foot ahead, that is distance that you are traveling. On the other side, the change in the position made during motion of a body is known as displacement. So when you are changing the position, which means that if your starting point and the ending point is different, then there will be some non-zero displacement. But if your starting and the final point is same, then that will be considered as zero displacement. So distance can not be zero, whereas displacement can be zero. I hope so far is so good. Moving ahead, in distance, it is needed not to be the shortest path between 2 points, as we have discussed it earlier in the previous slide. Displacement is the shortest path between initial and final position. And that brings us to the last point about it. Distance is a scalar quantity as it does not have any particular direction. When I am saying I traveled 50 kilometers, it may be in any direction. It may be going to a place, coming back. It may be going to a place A, traveling to place B, and then again coming back to place A. So that is what the distance is. It does not have any particular direction. Well, displacement, it is a vector quantity as it is always directed. whenever I'm saying that I have traveled 50 kilometers towards north, now see, I have got one direction that I am traveling towards north. So that will be referred as displacement. If I say 30 kilometers south or 20 meters east or 10 meters west, these all are the examples of displacement because a we have a direction in it. Alright, I hope the distance and displacement is completely clear. Well, then we shall proceed further to the next topic, that is speed. Now students, you have been studying speed since grade 7 and you have been understanding speed since when you are not even knowing the spelling of speed. When somebody is throwing a ball at you when you are younger, with how much speed is it coming, how much distance is it away from you, and in how much time will you be able to catch the ball, you are calculating all these things without actually calculating it in terms of a numerical or a sum. So speed is a topic which you have been learning since a long time. Now speed of a body is the distance traveled by the body in the unit time, and hence we are having the formula something as this: speed equals to distance upon time. The SI unit of speed, means the standard unit of speed, is meter per second, and this is how you will be writing meter per second. Since distance is measured in meters and time is measured in seconds, so we refer as meter per seconds. Now speed has only magnitude. Magnitude meaning that if I am saying 10 meter per second, then it is having just the magnitude. It does not have any sort of directions. So this is referred as only the magnitude, and hence it is known as scalar quantity. I hope the topic is clear. It's pretty easy one. So we move ahead with the next one, that is velocity. Now speed and velocity is one of the greatest confusions of physics, since they are connected very closely. In speed we were having distance upon time, whereas here it is the displacement upon time. Now as we have discussed earlier, distance was scalar, displacement was vector. So in velocity displacement is there, hence velocity will be a vector quantity. It is having magnitude as well as direction. So if I want to say that I traveled 10 meter east in 2 seconds, well, then that's how we will be able to calculate velocity, where the 10 meters will be our displacement divided by time, which was 2 seconds as an example, and which will give us the answer as 5 meter per second. Okay, so we move ahead with the next thing, and let me just finish writing this. It will be 5 meter per second. Now velocity of a body is displacement of the body per unit time. This is the definition of the whole term velocity. So moving further, I hope I am clear till now. Speed is scalar quantity because it has distance, and velocity is vector quantity because it has displacement in it. The formula is pretty much similar. You just have to replace the distance with displacement. Otherwise time is also present, same, and the word velocity is again replaced by speed. So that was the second most important thing. Coming on to the next topic, that is acceleration. Now when you are whenever we are saying that we are moving from 0 to 100 kilometer per hour speed in 10 seconds, well, then there is a change in velocity from 0 to 100, and that's what is known as the acceleration from 0 to 100 in some unit time. So that's how we will be defining it. The quantity which specifies the change in velocity is acceleration. It is the change in velocity of a body per unit time. This is its definition. So acceleration will be written in the form of the formula as change in velocity in the unit time. So let us specify, if the velocity of a body changes from initial velocity u, we will be defining initial velocity as u and final value or final velocity as v. In time t, a body is undergoing a change of initial velocity u to a final velocity v in time t. Then the acceleration will be the acceleration a will be referred as a equals to v minus u upon t. What does it mean? Final velocity minus initial velocity upon time taken. This is what it means. The example which we took from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds, well, in 0 to 100 in 5 seconds we will be able to we just have to put it, our v final value was 100. We started our journey from rest, so that was 0. So how will we put it? We will be putting it as 100 over here minus 0 over here upon time, which was 5 seconds. So that will be put over this place. So 100 upon 5 will be giving us 20. So 20 will be my answer, will be my acceleration, 20 meter per second square. So that's what is the acceleration. Since velocity will be in meters, meter per second, and acceleration will be in second, so we are getting this unit as meter per second square. Proceeding further with the next topic. See, this is everything basic. So formula for converting kilometer per hour into meter per second. Now this is used widely when you are performing any numericals in motion as well as in the laws of motion, which is the next chapter. It is extremely simple. When you want to convert from kilometer per hour into meter per second, you just have to multiply by 10 upon 36. So it is very simple procedure. You just have to multiply with 10 upon 36, easiest one. So let us have a look at some numericals about it. Very first one, I want to convert 18 kilometer per hour. I want to convert 18 kilometer per hour into meter per second. So let us take 18 kilometer per hour into into 10 upon 36, and this will when we will be just solving it, 18 times 1 and 18 times 2, we shall be getting 10 upon 2. Further cancelling it, 1 and 2 times 5. So with this we will be getting it 5 meter per second. Very easy to understand. It's just merely multiplying 10 upon 36. You can also take 5 upon 18, it is same. Let us have a look at the second example. 72 kilometer per hour, I want to convert it into meter per second. So again, multiplying it with 10 upon 36. Same procedure, 36 times 1, 36 times 2, and yes, you guessed it right, 2 times 10 will be 20 meter per second. I hope it is quite simple. Where we will be using it? We'll be using it in the coming numericals, where the numericals will be consisting of acceleration and many more other things. This will be just a small part of it to convert into the standard units. Let us have a look at one more example. 100 km per hour, I want to convert it into meter per second. Same procedures apply. We will be multiplying it by 10 upon 36. Here the cancellation is not directly possible, so when you cancel it with 2 and further calculations when you are performing, you will be ultimately getting to 27.7 meter per second. Once this is converted into, once the whole quantity of speed is converted into meter per second, then and then only we can use it in our numericals. So remember that we need to convert it before we proceed further. Now here is your prep conversions for practice. You will be converting 108 km per hour, 162 km per hour, 45 km per hour, 27 km per hour, 12, 65, 90, 35, 94 and 180 km per hour. All of them you have to convert into meter per second. I hope you have understood the whole concept of conversions and all the basic concepts of motion. Until and unless this is not clear, you would not be able to proceed further, and you will be facing the basic troubles every now and then. So please do this conversions, and if you are having any doubts, then do let me know related to this.